Hello everyone! It's been a long time since I made the last video, but Happy New Year to you all! My name is Marika. I live in the Philippines, but I was originally born and raised in Japan, so I am Junjapa Japa bilingual. Today, I want to talk about something that's often overlooked but absolutely essential for English learning: mindset. You may have heard this saying before. Success is 80% psychology and only 20% strategy. This means that no matter how good your methods or techniques are, your mindset is what determines your results. In this video, I will explain why mindset is such a powerful factor in English learning and how you can build a mindset that supports your growth, not just as a learner, but a communicator. So I hope you will like this video today. Many people focus heavily on strategies when they're learning English, such as what textbook to use, how to practice, which apps to download. While these are helpful tools, they only account for 20% of success, right? The other 80% comes from your psychology, such as your beliefs, your confidence, and your ability to stay motivated. Because English is about repetitive practice, meaning that it's 90% review over and over, doing the things over and over to train your brain. For example, imagine you're preparing for a big presentation in English. If you believe you are not good enough or you are terrified of making mistakes, even the best preparation won't help you perform well. This actually happened to me many times. On the other hand, if you approach the situation with the belief that mistakes are part of your learning and communication is about connecting with people rather than perfecting your speeches, then you will perform much better, even if you make a few or more errors. I want to share 3 tips on this. The first tip is to transform fear into curiosity. Get curious about them. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? This shift transforms fear into a powerful learning tool. So for example, when I was in America doing study abroad, about 21, 22 years old, I was working at the school. And one day, I was asked to make some calls to the students' parents. I was terrified. I was so scared of making mistakes. So what I did was create a perfect script so that I won't make any mistakes on the phone. Then I called them and most of them didn't pick up, so I left them some voice messages. However, on the next day, many parents called back the department where I worked at, complaining how bad my English was and they didn't understand what I was saying in the voice messages. I was devastated and became further scared of making calls to these people. But at that time, after many days of crying and complaining, I realized because of my fearful attitude, I actually did not speak clearly enough, or I didn't really speak loudly enough for them to understand the messages. So what did I do next? I actually volunteered to make some calls to the parents in the next opportunity, and my voice messages were okay. They understood my messages and we communicated very well. So in this story, I learned that the fear of making mistakes was making me speak less confidently and also with very, very little voice that a few people could hear. This was such a great learning because it wasn't necessarily about my English that was bad, but it was actually the psychological effect that my fear of making mistakes gave me. The second tip I want to share today is to shifting from perfection to progress. We should all let go of the idea that we all need to be perfect. In fact, nobody, including the native speakers, speak grammatically perfect English. So when we are asking things like, is this correct? これ合ってますか? Is this the right answer? これ正解ですか？ We are treating English as a subject rather than a tool that connects us with other people. If we can let go of this perfectionism, we can be more open to broken or imperfect, but very, very good at communicating kind of English. So aiming for perfection is like creating this movie-like, TV show-like script in a daily conversation, which is very, very unreasonable and not so practical. But instead, we can all focus on small, consistent improvements every day. So for example, if you happen to be able to use the expression that you learned yesterday in the conversation today, that's a progress. If you could listen and comprehend some words that you couldn't compare to last week, that's a progress. Even if you didn't understand the whole entire sentences or you didn't really get the whole conversation, that's fine. We are all making improvements every day. And you also want to be careful about what kind of words you are using when you are asking your teachers or ChatGPT some questions related to English. Are you asking them for the right answers? Or are you asking them for the expression that are understood by the majority of people? Those two concepts are two different things. If you are interested in improving your English speaking skills, I bet you are interested in connecting with people who do not have the same background as you or who are not Japanese, right? So please choose whether to connect with others or be perfect in the conversations. The third tip I want to share is to practice self-compassion. Let's be honest. I think many people, including myself too, tend to be very hard on ourselves. When we make mistakes or when we couldn't understand some English conversations, we feel so inferior or we feel disappointed in ourselves. We may say something like, "Oh, I wish my English was better. Oh man, this is something I learned before. But how come I can't remember? I'm so stupid." Or maybe I'm too old for this. Something like that. These are all bullying words to our heart and also our brain psychologically. By saying these words either out loud or internally, we are bullying ourselves. We are actually telling our brain to believe that we are not good enough. I'm not saying you cannot say these words, but my invitation for you today is to revisit these statements and maybe cover with some self-compassion, such as telling yourself, "Well, I have been working very hard. I recognize my effort. I am getting better every day. I can do this. I am doing great because I am doing my best." So instead of giving only the bullying words, you can also say nice, compassionate words to yourself, as if you are speaking to small children. So in conclusion, I just wanted to highlight the importance of mindset because it's often overlooked component of English learning or everything else in our lives. It's all about mindset. Remember that your mindset really creates your life experiences, and this is what drives your success in learning English. By shifting your focus from fear to curiosity, perfection to progress, and practicing self-compassion, we can all overcome challenges and enjoy the process to be fluent in English. Learning isn't just only about mastering the language. It's about becoming a more confident, open, and curious version of yourself. I say this because this was my English journey. As I am studying English still now, today, every day, I keep on finding the newer and better version of myself in me. So I hope you will do the same. And thank you so much for watching the video till the end. And I will see you guys at the next video. Bye bye!